Well, hello people. It is that time of the week once again. And that's right, that's the speaker test time. And this time we have a new addition to the family, which is this big boy here, the Xiaomi Sound Party speaker. Now, that's not a very interesting name for it, but I guess at Xiaomi they didn't know what to do with this name. And so they just thought, let's just give it a sound party name. Now, the party is exactly what this speaker is designed for. And the reason I say that is because it is big, as you can see, so it has a certain amount of presence. It has a good amount of airflow inside because of the size. It has a good amount of bass, a deep bass for the size again. So it is mono, so it's a party speaker, right? Also, when it comes to specs, we have 50 watts RMS of power, which is a decent amount for this size. We have a carrying handle that comes up just like this. It's like a rubber material, but it's interesting. It just seems to be well done. It doesn't look like it's gonna break anytime soon. Now, we have some LEDs on the side, both, and on the back we have the bass up button, the Bluetooth, and the party connect button. Now, I also want to mention something. This speaker does not have a dedicated application. So the Xiaomi Home app, which works with some speakers of Xiaomi, is not compatible with this. So you cannot add it to the app. And you therefore do not have a way to manage the EQ, at least officially. You would have to download a third-party application and then you can EQ it yourself, which is a bit strange because as I was comparing it earlier to the Bose, I thought I wanted to make some changes on the EQ just to make the sound a bit more exciting, a tiny bit, boosting the highs, but turns out there is no official EQ. Now, you have some preset modes that you can switch on by pressing the action button, double, triple, or whatever, finding your combination to activate one of the EQs. But that sounds, to me personally, just a bit still. It doesn't allow me to modify the EQ the way I want it. And the other way to access the EQ is, well, the other EQ preset is the bass up mode, which obviously boosts the bass. It's a very common button these days. People love it. Anyways, without further ado, let's test it out. And for this test, I will not switch on the bass up mode, simply because the speaker sounds pretty balanced when the bass up mode is off. I felt like switching the bass up mode ends up bringing up unnecessary heaviness into the songs, and just like a bit artificially overpowering the rest of the mix. So no, I think personally I prefer it with the bass boost mode off, and it sounds great anyways. Let's hear it for yourself. Xiaomi, what did they do? What did they do? We will test as usual. We will give our final considerations afterwards. And we will also compare it to the Bose Soundlink Plus, which is in the same kind of size family. As you can see, slightly smaller in some ways. But then again, I'd say two very different types of sound. The Xiaomi is tuned by Harman, and so it probably has a sound that kind of reminds a bit of the JBL, which is also tuned by Arman. So, anyways, let's do it.
Ay, qué rico se ve eso, te ves como travieso, quiero probar tu beso. Ay, qué rico se ve eso, te ves como travieso, quiero probar tu beso. ¿Quiero? Qué ricos, to create a mystery. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Now, if you've heard the last song, and I've also tested these speakers back to back before the video to have an idea of what to expect. And I can tell you, what I was telling you about the EQ earlier, that I would have liked on the Xiaomi, simply because when I select the bass up mode, the little button here, the bass just feels too artificially boosted, overpowering, but not in a good way, overpowering in a muddy way, not in a deep bass way. So I don't prefer to keep the bass mode on, but I would have preferred a little EQ that I could boost the bass a little bit less than what it is with this mode. Or perhaps even select maybe the lower end, like 60 or 70 hertz, compared to 90 or 100 hertz of the bass. And what I would do is boost a tiny bit the top highs. Why? Just because comparing them to the Bose, you can hear that the feeling of the Bose is just high bass, mids pushed in the back, and highs really high up. Even slight highs distortion that creates excitement. So that's the main difference between the two. I would say the Xiaomi keeps a bit more so that's the main difference between the two, I would say. The Xiaomi says a bit more religious to the sound, as in it respects the EQ a bit better than the Bose. Of course, it's tuned by Harman, and we know that they try to really keep the sound as it's supposed to be, while the Bose on its side just pushes these highs in crazy, and it sounds crazy. It sounds like a crazy party rave happening in the Bose compared to the Xiaomi or other speakers that I've tested, just because of that highs boost or even slightly distortion, soft distortion. So I wanted to boost a tiny bit these highs on the Xiaomi just to have a better comparison between the two. But that's not possible for the moment unless you use a third-party app, which is perfectly fine. You can do that as well. Talking about price, we have the Xiaomi, which I paid for 85 euros, 85 bucks, which is about $85-90, compared to the Bose, which is 250 plus, at least here where I live. And I would say the Xiaomi is a no-brainer in this comparison. Now, if you love the Bose sound and you have a big wallet, that's fine, you can get the Bose. But if you want something that sounds the way the songs are supposed to sound, like a bit more stoic when it comes to sound, and with a good low-end extension and a decent price, the Xiaomi is a very, very good deal. Well done, Xiaomi. I'm impressed once again.